Who is the Honeywell CT47 really good for? Who should walk away? And does the price make sense for someone just trying to get the job done without blowing the budget? If you've ever stood in a warehouse with a cheap scanner that quits the moment you drop it, or tried a consumer tablet that can't read a barcode from a distance, you know the hesitation that comes before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this video I'm going to walk through what the CT47 actually delivers in a typical workday, why those details matter, and where the hidden trade-offs hide. First off, let's talk about the environment where a handheld like this lives. I've spent the last few weeks shadowing a mid-sized distribution center that moved from a mix of older Motorola devices to a newer fleet of rugged Android scanners. Their biggest pain point wasn't the software, they already had a solid WMS, it was the hardware that kept failing under the pressure of constant drops, dust, and long shifts. The CT47 is marketed as ultra-rugged and comes with a 5-bay base that lets you snap on extra batteries, a grip, and a carry case all in one stack. In practice, that means a worker can swap a dead battery in seconds without having to power down the whole unit. In the field tests I watched, a picker could finish a full shift on a single charge, then slide in a fresh pack during a scheduled break and keep moving. That all-day power is a real win if your operation runs on 8-hour or longer shifts. Now, who actually needs that level of durability? If you're a small boutique shop that scans a few dozen items a day, you probably don't need a device that can survive a 6-foot drop. A cheap Bluetooth scanner paired with a smartphone will handle that workload at a fraction of the cost. On the other hand, if you run a warehouse with high shelves, a busy receiving dock, or field technicians who climb ladders and work outdoors, the CT47's rugged chassis and hot swap battery become essential. The extra protection also translates into lower total cost of ownership because you're less likely to be sending devices back for repair every few months. Scanning range is another practical factor that separates a nice-to-have from a must-have. The CT47 uses Honeywell's FlexRange XLR engine, which claims to read barcodes from up to 40 inches away. In a real-world test, a worker was able to scan a pallet label from across a crate without having to get down on his knees. That saved a few seconds per pick, and over a shift those seconds add up to a measurable boost in productivity. If your workflow involves scanning items on high shelves or from a distance, that extended range will actually feel like a speed-up. Conversely, if your items are always within arm's reach, you may never notice that benefit. Connectivity can be a silent deal-breaker. The CT47 ships with advanced Wi-Fi modules that support enterprise-grade networks, and some configurations even include optional LTE. In the distribution center I visited, the Wi-Fi was already robust, but the ability to add a cellular link meant the same device could be taken out to a construction site with spotty network coverage and still stay online. For businesses that rely on real-time inventory updates, that flexibility is worth the extra dollars. If you're only ever using the scanner inside a single building with a stable LAN, you might be paying for a feature you'll never use. Let's be honest about the drawbacks. The first thing most people notice is the size. The CT47 feels more like a small tablet than a slim scanner you can slip into a pocket. That bulk is part of the rugged design, but it does add weight, roughly a pound with the base attached. For someone who has to hold the device for hours, that can cause arm fatigue, especially if you don't have a supportive grip accessory. The second issue is price. Because it's a complete bundle with a 5-bay base, extra batteries, and optional connectivity, you're looking at a premium spend. If you're a startup or a seasonal operation that only needs a few devices for a short term, that upfront cost might be hard to justify. So, should you buy the Honeywell CT47? If your daily routine includes a lot of dropping, dust, or long scanning distances, and you need a device that can stay online without a constant charging cycle, then yes, it's a solid investment that will likely pay for itself in reduced downtime and higher pick rates. If you're a small retailer, a pop-up shop, or a hobbyist who just needs to scan barcodes occasionally, the CT47 is overkill. A cheaper Bluetooth scanner paired with a smartphone will handle those tasks just fine and leave you money in the bank. In the end, the value isn't just in the headline specs, it's in the way those specs line up with your real workflow. The CT47's hot swap batteries, extended range scanning, and rugged chassis solve very specific problems that show.